another one?
Yes, me too.
There's a couple copies, I guess. So here's my current connection, because it is directly related to our recent document study. It involves how my I guess relatives made it out of the Holocaust to this country, so I can be here today to present this to you. Very nice. I would say that would be worth applause, but clearly. Anyhow, let's start at the beginning. So, my family were Austrian Jews that immigrated to Belgium. They lived in Belgium during I'd say like 10 years before the war began. But sometime in 1940, stuff started turning out okay. So my great-grandfather ended up being put into a labor camp, and so with various other Jews, and he was just directly separated from his wife. But they recognized that it was only going to get worse from there. So his wife would regularly bribe the guards at the labor camp with cigarettes, to discuss him, like figure out how they were going to get out of there. Eventually they recognized that since he was a diamond merchant, he could likely bribe the guards to get out of there, and so they did. So using these diamonds, he sewed the remaining ones that they hadn't used to get out of this labor camp into the seams of all of their family's clothing, which was primarily just him, his wife, and their twin daughters, one of which was my grandmother. Now, they recognized that a group of people suddenly fleeing a Nazi-occupied country would be far more likely to get caught than two separate parties, so they split up. My great-grandfather went off to, I actually don't know if he did, we still haven't found out, but I assume it was something pretty cool. But my great-grandmother took the twin daughters and they went on a train. They were going to meet up in Portugal where they would go to the United States. And out there, they were on the train and they got approached by a Nazi officer. And now this was like one of those things where it was likely going to end poorly. Like there was not many good ways for this to turn out. But as it seems, because she had a very good fake Italian passport, one purchased with said diamonds I've mentioned in the past, they were like, oh, look at these cute babies. And since, the obvious propaganda scheme, they wanted that whole Nazi fertility thing where, the more German sons and daughters they've got, the better. They actually put them in the newspaper. Yeah, so two cute little Aryan babies, about as Jewish as it could be. And they made it home. So they eventually got to Portugal, so did my great-grandfather. But specifically, now this is coming to one of the documents that I've passed down, which is this one, is that my great-grandfather's parents, their great-great-grandparents, were too old to really leave the country. They lived there their entire lives, so they weren't going to be going anywhere special. So eventually, they got picked up. I mean, it's what happens. They couldn't really hide that you were Jewish if you lived there that long. And they were sent to Auschwitz. And because they were so old, you couldn't exactly put them into labor, so they were killed. So that's what happened then. They never made it to the new country, but the rest of them did. That's a plus. Anyhow, they met up in Portugal, and they recognized that staying in Europe really wasn't a great idea for Jews at the moment. So they went to the United States. And as you can see from the shipping manifest, all of the Mandels, there are a lot of them actually on this list. Let's see, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. About 15 of his family members who had just been from all different parts of Europe and escaped to meet up in Portugal went across the country. And because, we had a bunch of diamonds sewed into the seams, they made it to the United States, where we end now. A couple of generations later with me. And that's my presentation.